Hey everybody, this is Parker. I am the president and founder of Tego, and I'm thrilled to be here. If anybody's here, say something in the chat, and we can get started. So if nobody shows up, we'll end pretty quickly, but I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. We passed a part of section so I can show you. And every section is designed to carry something. Carrying hanger. This is a carrying hanging section right here. These are what we call the big mouth pockets right here. They come apart like that. It's designed for lots of little stuff, like in this case, a couple of ratchets for a ratchet set. Also great for compacts for makeup, spark plug ratchet. Also in here is a Leatherman. And then this is the closure section right here. This is the only section that's required for every single roll. You could just have a tiny roll if what you did is put on the, I'm just do this real quick, put on the hanging section. And this is the smallest roll that you could have. This one's got a little first aid kit in it right now. And then roll it up and close it up. And you are good to go. So that is the Tego Adventure Kit. That's about the smallest one you could have. And the largest one that you could have, we've put 6 together, which makes about 35 sections. And it's about 12 feet long, but you can go even bigger than that. Tego Adventure Kit. Usually people want to ask a couple of things. One, will you be able to buy individual sections? And yes, you absolutely will be able to buy individual sections. The dream is that you'll land on our site and you'll be able to fill out basically a quiz. Like, you know, if you go to a skincare quiz, a skincare site, you can see the skincare quiz and it'll ask you whether you have oily skin or big pores or little pores and what you're worried about with your skin. And then it'll make a custom recommendation. So the idea is that you'd be able to come land on the site, make a custom fill out a quiz, and then we'll make a recommendation about which sections will serve you well on your adventure kit. You know, that's the first dream. The second dream is that you'll be able to come to our site and indicate what you want to carry, and then be able to drag and drop your sections onto a roll, and we'll be able to at night laser cut the pieces, and then it will send all those pieces out to a sewer, and then the sewer will put it all together, and it'll arrive at your door, you know, within a week or so. So it's basically custom design. The problem with that dream right now is actually not the software. The software is pretty easy, and you can do that today. The problem is the manufacturing. So we call that a manufacturing run of one, when you can make only one of one thing. And it is. Thank you, Margaret. Yes, it is. That was a yellow jacket. And yeah, he is no more. So manufacturing runs of one. The problem is the manufacturing. No factory in the world can do that right now at any reasonable cost. So if you think about, this is one of, you know, 50,000 in a manufacturing run, and this is a manufacturing run of one. With the Adventure Kit having sections that slide together, we're a little bit farther away from something that is totally uniform, something that you can customize, but we're not yet over there. So we're trying to move in that direction where you could come to the site and design it yourself. It's just that we have to do it with sections right now. And so where this is going is that it will be a completely extensible system. Like, to get these sections, we surveyed a bunch of people, and thank you so much, Margaret. I don't think I'm going to leave that. It is waterproof, though, the fabric. So if you hit a bug like I did, it will slide right off. And he did. All right, where was I? Extensible sections. So we designed these sections for toiletries and everyday technology carry. So these big mouth sections were designed for compacts, lipstick, fingernail polish, little pieces of makeup, dental floss, razor blades fit right in here. And then sections like this are designed for toothbrushes, for tools, for cords, other things that you need to keep handy. Yes, if you ordered too large, that would ultimately make a length of, actually, it'll make a length of 12 or 14. Yes, you're right. But it'll be 12 because there are 5 sections in the middle, because you won't be able to use your closure section twice, nor will you be able to use your hook section twice, if that makes sense. So the hook only goes on one end and can't go in the middle. The closure only goes on one end and can't go in the middle. So this is the hook section, and the closure is the same thing. So any of the other sections in the middle, you can string together, but there's only 5 that can go in the middle. But it will be extensible. So as we come up with ideas for more sections, then we can create them. Several of you have posted asking about how you provide input on the product, and we are thrilled to take input from just about anyone. And we also created a group called the Tego Testers that is a group. It was inspired by a group that I heard about at eBay. So eBay used to bring in a bunch of their power sellers for a weekend, and they'd shower these people with swag, tell them about their products, and then interview them. So they get this incredible amount of feedback. And I thought that was a great idea. So when we started 5 years ago, this was the product right here. The very first one. It was made out of a heavy-duty canvas with a leather strap. It had a few pockets on the inside, and it was pretty basic compared to what you see today. But when we started, I asked about 15 or so testers, backers, to come in and spend a year talking to us, and they did. And I first tried to maintain individual conversations with each one, and that proved to be just so hard. So I put them all into their own Slack channel, and that's where the magic started happening, because they started talking amongst themselves, and they would put out an idea, and then they'd make the idea better, and they would agree and disagree and argue, and it was just so much fun to watch. So they were the ones that helped me come up with the second product, which was this one. So it is still very similar to the first one, but had a much better closure system on the back, some leather accents. We used this G hook for the first one. That's what we're using on this one too. It was bigger. It was waterproof, modern materials, much bigger zipper pocket. There's a flap on top, 2 grommets, and then there were these little snap pockets at the very top that you could put stuff into, smaller things. And so I invited 35 people into our Slack channel next. So we had 35 testers. And our big revelation interviewing them was, what you carry is not what I carry. So how do you make a bag that's perfectly different for everybody? And they were actually the ones that came up with this idea of sections. So we searched and searched to try to find the right hardware, and finally found these interlocking hooks like this. So basically, there's a hook on one side and a slide on the other side. And this is going to be hard to do when I hold it up, but they just go together. like this. And they're super strong. We've had about 20 pounds hanging on this. It's super flexible and it's really easy to get apart. So we were concerned that usually these things are used for chest straps and things like that, that they might not hold up to the wear and tear. So we started sliding them back and forth and testing them and found that that got old fast. And so we approached a high school class that's down in Fremont, run by a friend named Kristen Berbawi. And they made this for us. This is the STS 2000. I don't even know what it stands for, but they named it. And it is a slide system that it's motorized. It uses a 3D printer motor. And you can put some of the slides on there and it just slides them back and forth as many times as you want. So we programmed it for 5,000, left it overnight, came back, and it was working just fine. And we repeated that with a dozen samples, and several even ran up to 10,000. So I think that the slide system is going to be pretty durable for what everybody's going to put it through. So that's how we came up with the slides. And it's going to be an extensible system, and whatever you all want to carry, we can make pockets for it. Already, just in the campaign, people have come back with ideas for how to carry razors securely, how to carry the whole roll. Several people have come back with handles. Somebody even sent in a sketch of basically it's like a yoga mat carry, so that you'd be able to carry the whole thing like this, and there'd be a handle on top, and you can carry it that way. Somebody suggested a strap. I think a handle's easier. Yeah, so extensible carry system. And then we can make sections for pens, for watches, for heavy duty tools, for first aid, for emergency equipment, for sewing, for fly fishing, for cooking, you name it, and we'll find a way to carry it. That's our goal. So question back from the audience here. Yes, you can get another add-on later. We're going to have a store at the end of this campaign set up so that when you fill out your survey, you can add on as many sections as you want. We're just nailing down some of the pricing and should have that up within a couple of days. This fabric, one of the things that was really important to me when I started the company is that Tego be as planet friendly as possible. It's not possible to make anything that is completely without carbon emissions. So Peter Deering and another friend of his at BioLite created basically an organization called Carbon Neutral, and they make it easy for organizations like ours to offset, to measure all of our emissions from start to finish. So the emissions from the raw materials, the emissions from the factory, the emissions from manufacturing and distribution, all the way through scope 1, 2, 3. So it's not just the emissions that we use our servers and website and so forth. It's the entire scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. So we are able to measure and offset all of those. So we are basically a net zero emissions company from the very beginning. In addition to that, we are also using fabric that's called recycled PET. So PET is a soda bottle, basically the same plastic. And we're using a fabric that is 100% post-consumer recycled plastic. So that means that these bottles are pulled out of the post-consumer waste stream. They're cleaned, they're broken up and crushed, they're melted down, and then they're turned into this fabric, which is an incredibly tough, waterproof fabric. And it constitutes the inside and the outside. So it's the inner liner right here and the outside of the roll. So that's what the certification is about. Color selections. We are going to start with this color, which is a heather gray. And then because we hit 150,000, that was our stretch goal. Thank you very much. People are going to be able to vote. We'll send it out later on this week on a second color Many of you saw in the video this color, which is it's kind of like a heathered red, and I think it's gorgeous. Not that I'm biased, but you all, the backers, are going to be able to pick a color and decide what you want. And I'll put out about 2 or 3 different options of inside and outside. You all can choose, and that will be the second color. And then when you fill out your surveys, all you have to do is specify the color that you want, and then that goes to the factory. And all that will happen fairly quickly after the campaign is over. Let's see, what else? Any other questions from you guys? I had a few more from... all right, so let's see. A couple of you had asked about the dog. The dog's name is Scout. She's a rescue. She comes from a rescue organization called Love and Second Chances. They're based here in the Bay Area. They bring in dogs from all over Asia, and can't say enough good things about them. We have one dog from there and then another one from there that was a failed foster attempt. We had fostered about 3 dogs, and then this one stayed. They're great dogs. Let's see. So we did the testers. So you'll be able to apply and join the Tego Testers program at the end of the campaign. We'll probably be looking for about 30. We're looking for people who, when you pick up a bag or something else, you say to yourself, if only they had asked me, I would have said this, this, and this. That's who we want. We want the people that are just so gung-ho about carry, about organization, about how things, you have an eye for detail. And then, you know, the first time we ran, we took just about everybody that came back. The second time we ran, we were about 3x oversubscribed, and I ended up getting basically resumes from people, you know, pilots and hunters. And one guy told me about his passion for tool rolls, and yeah, so we will do that. And you know, I wish I could tell you the criteria for the people that make it in, but all you have to do is have a passion for it, be willing to help, and tell a story about how you've, you know, helped another product come to life, I guess. Yeah. Well, I think I'll probably stop there. That was basically what I wanted to cover. Anybody else have anything? All right. Well, then, thank you all. We are at 162,000 right now. If we make it to 175 or 80, that would be fantastic. So exciting. Thank you very much for the good luck. And stand by for the surveys. We've got about 61 hours to go, and I'll see you all afterwards. Thank you.